I'm Roland. I am 52 years old, and my ex-wife Carmela, 49 years old. Thinking about how I met Carmela brings back a lot of feelings. It all started in a bookstore 30 years ago on a cool fall day. We both reached for the same book, and from there we began talking and sharing our favorite books. Carmela's smile and positive energy made our conversations easy and fun. We discovered we liked the same things, and being around her felt right. We spent time together having coffee and taking long walks, and it felt like the universe had brought us together. As we got to know each other, our connection grew stronger. Carmela became the person I laughed with, shared my thoughts with, and found comfort in. They marked the beginning of a love story that lasted for over 30 years. We got married a few years later. I started working at a local financial firm, and very soon, she too joined the same firm. We both went to the office together and came home together. I used to work in field operations while she worked in marketing. I had the hard labor job while she had the flashy and office job. Over time, Carmela gained her ranks, and very soon, she was at a very high and respectable position, while I was still 2 positions below her. It did cause some discontent in me, but I used to ignore it and just felt happy that she was doing great in her professional life. We have a daughter who is now 22 years old and is in business school. We plan to celebrate our 25th marriage anniversary, and I intended to leave my job and start my own consulting firm with my daughter. I have been saving for this all my life. I have sacrificed a lot of things just to ensure that I'm able to give my daughter her dream start in life. Carmela usually travels throughout the country and always keeps me posted on where she is and video calls just to show where she is living and what she is eating. I have gone out on some company tours with her, but I used to feel out of place. Her circle was all flashy marketing guys, all dressed in nice suits and talking in sugar-coated language. I used to sit in a corner while she interacted with people. The only bright side was that we used to have great, intimate sessions on such trips. She used to get very high in the night business hotel suites. Over a period of time, I stopped going out on such trips. Now she has been on 5 such trips without me, and I have noticed a drastic change in her. Every time she came back from such a trip, she was getting distant, talked less, and was tired for a day or 2. I did think of this as a red flag, but I never checked her phone or her emails. My daughter was home for her break and observed that as well. She suggested that we go out for a vacation and try to sort things out. So, I planned a tour of the Caribbean islands, wanting my wife to enjoy and to fix our relationship. I told my wife, and she was fine with it. I had expected a better response from her, but the trip was meant to fix things between us. 3 weeks later, we were at the beach. I was soaking in the sun, and here beside me was my beautiful wife in a yellow bikini. I was happy. This was my first long vacation after our honeymoon, and I was going to enjoy every moment of it. Carmela looked a bit tense, and her body language told me she was not at ease. In the evening, I tried to talk to her. I took her to the beach and asked if something was bothering her. She didn't say anything, and kept walking on the beach holding my hand. I felt that we still had 5 more days, and eventually I would be able to get through to her. The next day in the afternoon, we came across 2 local men offering body massages. I thought that this might be a good idea to relax. I asked my wife if she was okay with a massage, and she agreed. The guys offered to come to our hotel room. We got an hour of nice massage, and by the end of it, I was relaxed. I felt great. After the massage, we lay in our beds. In the evening, I asked my wife to accompany me to the beach, but she said she was still feeling a bit weird after the massage and wanted to lay down. She asked me to go ahead and be back before dinner. I told her that I would return in 2 hours, and then we could go out to the beach. I left, but I was still not convinced with the progress I was making with her. I went walking on the beach, and within a few minutes, I felt I wanted to be back with her. So I walked back toward my room. As I reached near my room, I heard moans coming from inside. I was shocked, and for a moment I checked if I was walking towards the right room. I walked towards the room, checked the room number, and slowly opened the door. The scene inside tore me from the inside. Carmela was being drilled by 3 men, 2 of whom were the same men from the afternoon massage. No holes were left. Looking at the scene, I collapsed and passed out. I woke up after 2 hours with a doctor standing beside me. I was still in the hotel room. Carmela was standing in the room, and for a moment, I felt like I had just woken up from a bad dream. The doctor left after telling Carmela that I was fine and that it was just due to sudden shock. I slowly got up and wanted to leave the room. I felt that the room was collapsing on me. Being alone with Carmela was very weird. I felt like my lungs had stopped working, and I had that sinking feeling again. I quickly walked to the window and started breathing again. I looked at Carmela. Before she could speak, I asked her to stop. I still needed to get normal. She waited, then spoke. Our marriage has run its course. It's time for us to go our separate ways and find our own destiny. I feel that our relationship is holding me back, and I can be more successful if I am not bound to you. I didn't have anything to say and just looked out of the window. She packed her bags and left. I stayed back and walked the sandy beach barefoot every evening, staring at the sky with a beer in my hand. When I returned home, I found an empty house with an envelope on the bed. It was the divorce papers with a letter. I opened the letter. It just said that she was sorry and wished me well for the future. We divorced. I didn't pay any alimony, and Carmela didn't demand anything. My daughter wasn't happy with the divorce and was upset with us. I didn't argue with her and just told her that it was all right. It was meant to be. I never told her what I saw in the hotel, nor did I tell her that her mother had cheated on me. She kept in touch with her mother. I never wanted to see or talk to Carmela again. I just wanted to live. This time, I wanted to live for me. I left my job and started my own firm as planned. Only this time, I had money, and my focus was just on building my company. I started going to the gym and made sure I ate healthy to be at my physical and mental best. 3 years later, my company was stable. It was hard, but I made it happen. My daughter joined me and started from the ground up. She needed to learn the trade and one day take over. Bragging a bit, I bought my dream car, a custom-built 1969 Ford Mustang. Bragging further, over the last 3 years, I worked hard on my body. I now have visible abs. Not a six-pack, but they're visible. No more pot belly. On my 56th birthday, I celebrated with my daughter over dinner. She told me she had met Carmela a few days ago. I tried to stop her, but she continued. She said she knew what had happened in the Caribbean. I looked at her and she held my hand. If I were you, she said, I would have destroyed Carmela's life. I would have told everyone and made sure no one ever talked to her. I smiled. She asked why I never did that. I smiled again and asked her, what else did she tell you? My daughter said, Carmela tried to find her dream man, her successful man, but after multiple failed relationships over the last few years, she has stopped looking for love. I opened my phone and played a video. How come every time you have sex with someone, they leave? I told her. That was your mother after 3 months of trying to find her successful man. I knew she would fail. When she knocked on my door, I dumped her back on the streets. She may have all the money in the world, the most prestigious job, and the most luxurious cars, but she will never sleep in the arms of someone who loves her unconditionally. As we talked, my new wife, Nancy, joined us. Nancy had been my pillar of support for the last 2 years and helped me build my company. We finished dinner and went to sleep. That night, my daughter sent a message to Carmela. Why did you divorce my father? Are you happy now? Carmela replied with a video message. I divorced my husband because I was making a certain amount of money. I thought I didn't need him anymore. I thought I held the same position at home as I did at work. I thought I was better than him because I had my degree. I thought a successful marriage meant I was here and he was down there. That's not success. That's sickness. I found myself divorced and out there looking for love in all the wrong places. This one and that one and that one and that one and this one and that one. My body count going up and my value going down. I'm just gonna call it like it is. All the while, my husband had found somebody else, building a relationship and building a life with them. I should have stayed married to my husband. I felt like I was on this dark road with no streetlights, pitch black, and I couldn't find my way. I didn't know which way to go. I felt lost. I felt like I was walking barefoot on that dark road, with pebbles and hot rocks sticking to my feet. I felt hurt. I felt alone. Every time one man after another left my bed, I was left alone, lying in what was supposed to be a soft, comfortable pillow, but instead, it was soaked with tears. I should never have left my husband. After watching the video message, my daughter put her phone down and went to sleep. That night, as I lay in my bed with my loving wife Nancy beside me, I stared at the ceiling. I thought about the journey I had taken. I was down once, but I knew I couldn't go down any further. The path ahead was only up, and up I went. I could have exposed Carmela, but that would have been just a small and temporary victory. What I have achieved today will be remembered by future generations. No one will talk about Carmela. Today, I am happy. That is all that matters. The best revenge is to live well and level up. What are your thoughts? Please share them in the comments below.